Okay, so I'm going to go offline here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all my rungs here. Let me add one more rung here so we can start. And then I'm also going to, let me go to View and go to Controller Organizer. I got some parameters and local tags, so let me open these guys up. So I got to get rid of this array, this guy, and my counter, and this guy. Looks good. So now I have like a base PLC program that I can work with here. Okay, so let's start off here, guys. We're on our main routine. If you're looking at this textbook, if you're going to ask in the comment section where the textbook is, it's not created yet. I'm building up the course. So once I've created the entire course for the Studio 5000, similar to what I did with the Siemens course, then I'll push it all out as one complete course, and then there'll be a textbook that walks you through all the different steps here. So anything that you're seeing here will be available for purchase, but just at a later time. Okay, so what I'm doing, if you're in my classroom, then I want you guys to open up your base PLC program and then save a copy as OSR, OSF example. So I've done that here. All right, so we have our base PLC program that we can make use of time and time again. We don't have to set up everything. We can just save it as a different name and then move on. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to drag and drop and examine on to our rung 0. So we're going to grab this guy. We're going to go to our bits here. Let's drag and drop and examine on. Let's zoom in a bit so we can see things a little bit more clear. I'm going to address this to local 1 input, and I'm going to data, and that's going to be my second bit, so number 1. And you'll see that when I click anywhere on the screen, it'll already have the name there of sensor entry. Yours will not have the name, so you'll have to right-click on here, do Edit Main Operand Description, and then you can change the name of that input there. Okay, scrolling down here, that we're going to create 2 arrays. No, wait, I've missed something. I got to drop in an OSR. So an OSR is also in my bits here. So ONS, we covered earlier. OSR. Interesting that, like, on mine, for some reason, there's a little glitch there. It says greater than, which is not true. Let's go to bit. Let's go to OSR. Interesting. That's strange that it says greater than. It's clearly an OSR. Okay, so let's look at our storage bit. What we've got to do is we've got to create an array for these guys. So that the OSR needs both a storage bit and an output bit. We could do like memory bits, but then we're going to start to use up all our memory bits. Much easier to create an array, one for the ONS storage and one for the ONS outputs. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to View. Going to go to Controller Organizer. And then here on our main program, Parameters and Local Tags, we're going to right-click on there and then hit New Local Tag. Okay, at that point, I'm going to give this name ONS Storage. Okay, and then I'm going to change this here. So I'm just going to single-click on these 3 dots here. I'm going to change this from a double integer to a bool value. And then down here, I'm going to have a value of 16. Okay, as soon as I've done that, then I'm going to hit Create. Beautiful. I'm going to need to create one more array there. So I'm again right-clicking on Parameters and Local Tags, New Local Tag. And then this one is going to be my ONS outputs. Okay, and again, I'm clicking here in the 3 dots, changing these to a bool value, and then giving it a dimension of 16 bits. Hitting Create. Beautiful. Now if I'm looking for those guys, they are in here, my program parameters and local tags. Right now I've got this guy, and clearly I don't know everything about these yet because I said 16 and all of a sudden there's 32 bits there. So you guys can help me out on what I've missed there, in that all of a sudden I have 32 bits rather than the 16. But I have 32 bits for the ONS storage that I can make use of. They're called elements. And then here I've got the elements on my ONS outputs. Right? So I got 2 different arrays that I can make use of there. Going back to my main program, I'm going to close this up now, and my storage bit, I'm going to click here, and that guy should be available down here. So that's my storage bit. I'm going to make use of the first element, ONS storage 0. Okay, so using that guy. And then here for my output bit, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to scroll down to my ONS output array, and then I'm using output 0. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to add in a new rung here, and I need to drop in an examine on. So let's go to our bits here, drop in an examine on. Then we're going to do a counter here. We're going to do an up counter. So we're going to grab and drop this down. Now for the input here, the input to the CTU is going to be this output of our OSR. So we can grab this element right here and drag and drop it over here, and we're good to go. So when this goes true, this will be true, which will increment our counter. I'm going to call my counter entry counter. Okay, clicking anywhere on the screen now. Now remember that just by calling it entry counter, that really does nothing. I've got to right click on this and hit new entry counter, and that's going to create my variable. Okay, coming in as a data type of counter, we'll hit create, and now we'll be able to change my preset value. Okay, I'm going to set a preset value of 4. Beautiful. Then we're going to do another rung here. So we're going to add a rung here. We're going to do an examine on and an OSF. So back to our bits here. We're going to do examine on. Okay, and then we're going to do a one-shot following. Drag and dropping this guy down. So the one that's going to turn on our OSF is going to be our sensor exit. So I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to do local 1 inputs. I'm going to go to data. Going to go to my next subsequent bit here, number 2. And again, you're going to see that it has the name sensor exit because I was already working on that program. You won't have that, so you're going to right click and change your main operand description to say sensor exit. Beautiful. We've already created the array here, so we can do our next storage bit. So our next element is here for storage. So we'll do number 1. And then the output bit here again. Come on, double click, click here once. Go down to your output bit, open this up, and there's all our bools now. Come on. And now we're going to use output number 1. Beautiful. Now we've got our 2 elements here, and we're going to now drop in a CTD. So we're going to do a new rung here. Okay, we're going to do an examine on, and we're going to do a CTD. So let's go to our timers and counters, count down. Beautiful. Again, something's messed up with my Studio 5000. That's being called output unlatch, but it's clearly not an output unlatch. That's a CTD. Okay. Next thing, let's follow through what we're doing. We're going to do the same thing. This output of the OSF, when it goes from a 1 back to a 0, this will be true. So we're going to grab this and drag that over here. That's going to count down our counter. We're going to call this the same. So we're going to call. I put an E in, and that comes up with entry counter. I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to click anywhere over here, and you can see that as soon as I did that, my preset value is exactly the same as this guy. Beautiful. Again, that is now found in here, my program parameters and local tags. Right, there's my entry counter, and we've got all the available bits there. Okay, so let's go back to our main program. It looks like we're done on that rung. So let's scroll down here. Next thing we're going to do is put 2 examine ons in parallel. So let's add a rung. We're going to drop in 2 examine ons. So we're going to grab this bad boy and another one. I'm going to put them in series for now. I'm going to click on here. I'm going to come over here to go branch. For some reason it makes it over here on the right hand side. So I'm going to grab this, drag it over till I see green, and then grab this examine on and drag it here till I see green. Beautiful. Those guys are going to be associated with our outputs. So I'm going to grab this guy and drag it down to here until I see green. And this output. So both the output of the OSR and the OSF will then go to a move instruction. We haven't talked about move instructions yet. We're going to go over those in more detail. They're over here. So let's see. They're not. If I click here, I think I got to click here to go over a touch. There we go. So they're under the move and logic, and I'm going to grab this move instruction and drag it down. Again, we'll talk about this in more detail, but it's essentially just moving like data from a source to a destination. Okay, looking at that guy, I'm going to have the source as my entry counter accumulated value. Right, so this value right here. So I'm going to click on here, find my entry counter, click a single one here, and I have all my bits associated with that counter, and I grab the accumulated value. Clicking anywhere on the screen to have that settle in. And then the destination, if we scroll down here, we're going to create a new variable called palette entry count. Okay, clicking anywhere on the screen. And again, just because I typed that in doesn't mean that it exists yet. So I'm going to right click on here and say new pallet entry count. And that's going to create a new variable there. Okay, so a new parameter or tag. For that one, I'm just going to keep it as a double integer. So I'm going to hit create. Beautiful. And at the moment, it has a value of 0 because this value is 0. Nice. Then on the next rung, so we're going to drop in a couple more rungs here. Not edit. We're going to add a rung. There we go. And we're going to drop in something from our compare. So right here in this compare folder, we need a greater than. So we're going to grab this guy right here, drag and drop it down. Again, we'll talk about these compare instructions in another video. But at this point, as long as source A is greater than source B, then whatever is here is going to be turning on. So I need an output energized, so I'm going to go back to my bits. Can we move this over? No, lost that. Okay, let's just drop that back in. Okay, so let's go over to our bits now. Okay, and we're going to have an output energize. And my conveyor is going to be on local 1:0, going to data, clicking here once, and I'm going to use the first bit 0. Again, it comes up with the name conveyor motor. You're going to have to put that in. So you're going to right click on there and go to edit main operand description, and you'll be able to change the name of that bit there. Okay, looking at the greater than, our first source is going to be, looks like our pallet entry count. Right, so we moved our entry count or accumulated value to our pallet entry count. So that guy should be available down here. Looks good. Clicking here, you can associate it with other bits, but I'm just going to put in a stationary value of 0. So as long as my pallet entry count is greater than 0, then let's turn on the conveyor. Beautiful. Then last rung, guys, we're going to put in a reset push button. So on this rung 6, we're going to put in a reset push button. So we'll go back to our bits here, grab and examine on. And then I made the mistake before of grabbing like an output energize. So I'm just going to show you, if you mess that up, you don't necessarily have to delete it. Like if we're looking for reset, it's available in timer and counter, right? It's available right there. But I can change this by clicking on here and then, clicking on this instruction. So instead of an OTE, I'm going to right click here, and if I go down, instead of my bits, I want my timers and counters. So if I go down, I can find the reset instruction right here. Beautiful. I want to reset my entire counter, so I'm going to reset this entire thing. Beautiful. And then in order to do that, I need a push button to do that. So I'm looking at my local inputs, going to my data, and I'm going to use the first bit, data 0. And again, if I click here, it'll say reset push button. And for the third and fourth time, you'd have to change your main operand description to match with the reset push button. Beautiful. Okay, let's make this a little bit smaller so we can see everything. Looks good. Let's download to our PLC, and we'll test it out one more time, guys. Beauty. If you're following along with the textbook here, if you're in my class at this point, then you'll see that I've got every step in order to test out the program. So testing it out and then showing you exactly what you should see on the screen there. So again, our sensor entry is going to transition from a 0 to a 1. When it does so, then our accumulated value goes up by 1 here. All right, so we can see our value of 1 goes here. We're moving that value to pallet entry count, and as long as pallet entry count is greater than 1, then our conveyor has now turned on there. Okay, that sensor entry can go false and nothing happens. Once it goes true again, then our accumulated value goes to 2. Conveyor motor is still on. Increment it to 3. And then 4, the done bit has now set. If you wanted to, you could make use of this done bit to then turn off the conveyor motor, but you're going to have to change this to maybe a limit or something like that. At this point, I just said, if it's greater than 0, then have the conveyor motor running. Okay, so that shows us our OSR, and is looking for that change in the bits from a 0 to a 1. And again, looking at our OSF, we're looking at our exit sensor here. So as this guy goes true and then false, so true does nothing, right? You can see that our count is still 4 right here and right here. But once this goes false, then the output bit of the OSF will then be true, which causes this to be true, which causes our counter to decrement by 1. Okay, then we're going to do the same. True does nothing, right? The 0 to 1 transition does nothing for the OSF. The transition from 1 to 0, though, like this, drops us down to 2. Now, transition to 1 does nothing. Transition from 1 to 0 drops us down again. And then on the last one, then our value will be equal to 0, right? We're just saying that it's greater than. So when this goes to 0, our conveyor motor will turn off. So the next time that it goes true and then false, now our conveyor motor turns off there. Beautiful. Hopefully that gives you a good understanding of the OSR and the OSF bits, guys. In subsequent programs, we're definitely going to be making use of the ONS, the OSR, and the OSF instructions. They're great instructions for grabbing like one single instance of something happening there, or just the transition from 0 to 1 or 1 back to 0. All right, guys, if you like this video and you stayed all the way to the end, then please like and subscribe, and keep following, and I'll keep going with this playlist and a number of different videos on Studio 5000, building up an entire course. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Thanks very much.